Is Westbrook right about Harden?
I think so. And I think the reason why he's right is because there are too many people that look for reasons to malign James Harden. And I think that he made a point when my sit-down interview with him last week when he highlighted how, you know, he's just going one-on-one. It's bad for the game, et cetera, et cetera. Well, let's take this into consideration. Harden has had his greatest success playing for Mike D'Antoni. He loves Mike D'Antoni, swears by Mike D'Antoni. And Mike D'Antoni deserves that kind of praise from James Harden because of what he's done for James Harden's career offensively. Now, I've been on the record, Max, just so you know, with both of them, particularly Daryl Morey, the general manager for the Houston Rockets, saying that I think that it's imperative that Harden not do what he does in terms of dancing with the ball and going one-on-one because you give defenses an opportunity to get set.
You're saying just pull that back a little on this show.
Because the reason why I'm only saying that for this reason. James Harden is unstoppable.
Yeah.
But what playoff teams have proven when they got an opportunity to game plan for you in a best-of-7 series is that they can wear you down. And we have seen Harden in the postseason sort of tire out. Because, again, he doesn't engage in load management. He doesn't take an abundance of games off. He doesn't mind carrying the load and what have you. Well, what happens is that renders the pieces around you somewhat impotent because they're accustomed to playing the role of literal spectators. It's one thing when there's ball movement, people are moving without the ball, but you might be the one that takes the shot, but everybody's active and moving and all of that other stuff. It's another thing entirely when literally people are standing around watching to see what you're going to do. He's taking 25 shots a game. He's averaging 39, 42% shooting or what have you. I think, 34% from three-point range, which has improved dramatically. But in the end, he's going to need to give up the ball quicker or attack quicker just so you can have more offensive possessions to share the basketball with other people. But I do think that people look at him and say, yo, this is what he's doing wrong, as opposed to saying, this brother is spectacular, and there are very few people on the planet Earth who can do what he does.
Yeah, but I disagree with Westbrook about this because what he means is, like, look at the numbers that Harden's putting up. Come on, not just anyone could do that. He's right about that, but, like, we just get used to it, as though Harden is this historically important figure in terms of how much better he is at something than everyone else. No. Westbrook is more like that than Harden, not in terms of the production, but in terms of how hard he played. Like, if you're looking for something you don't just see in any era, look at the way Westbrook plays. Whatever you want to say negative about Westbrook, the effort he gives is so appreciated. At least I so appreciate it, going all out all the time. That jumps out at me like that's different in any era. But
go ahead. I thought you were done.
But Harden is in the juiced ball era. Like in baseball, when someone used to hit, Sammy Sosa hit 65 home runs every year with McGuire because everyone's juiced. That's what Harden's playing in. When I was a kid, I used to hear Oscar Robertson average a triple-double. No one does that today. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points. No one does it. That's because the era lent itself to ball-dominant players putting up ridiculous numbers. That's the era we're in now. To Harden's credit, when Steph is given that workload, he breaks down. Harden's not only can do all these things, but he's also physically strong and relatively durable, right? So he is a special player, no doubt. And he's among the special players in this era, but he doesn't stand out above them. He is not even to this era, let's say, what Kobe Bryant was to his. No. And he's without a ring. So yes, he's a great player in this era. He's a special player. But I disagree with Westbrook's basic premise, like, oh, my God, if the point is, like, you don't just think this is something you'll never see. No, he's a ball-dominant player in a D'Antoni system in an era that lends itself to this kind of production.
Stephen A., can I ask you a question before we move on to the Lakers? I saw that interview, and you asked him, and you said, like, is this your year you guys are actually going to get it done and get a chip? And he said yes. Did they have even a shot compared to the Clippers and Lakers to win it all in the West?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, because they're potent offensively. I would remind you that they're doing what they're doing with Russell Westbrook still struggling from threes, with Eric Gordon being out with his knee injury, and with Gerald Green, a component off the bench for them in terms of athleticism and spot-up threes that's beneficial for them as well. When you talk about all of those elements come into play, and you're looking at the Lakers and the Clippers, their defense is elite, make no mistake about it. But as elite as their defense is elite as Houston's offense is potentially. So if you're the Lakers or you're the Clippers, whereas we can look at the stars that they have and know that they're going to put up points, plus you know they're going to defend. If you're the Houston Rockets and you can turn it into the kind of competition that says you're going to have to outscore us to beat us, the Lakers and the Clippers might have a problem with that. Not to mention, remember something. In four of the past 5 years, the Houston Rockets have lost to the Golden State Warriors. Unquestionably, the greatest shooting backcourt in the history of basketball, who also had Kevin Durant 2 of those times. The Lakers and the Clippers can't shoot like that. So you're the Houston Rockets. Suddenly you don't have to concern yourself with a 3-point arsenal, the likes of which the game has never seen.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.